Hello, and welcome back to Teen Questions with me, Hollow. I have my wonderful cup of tea, and I'm going to drink some of it so that you can hear that I do in fact have tea, so that that small portion of you does not freak the fuck out and ask, WTF is the tea? I live a strange life. I'll be honest with you, it's a strange... I have come to a point as a 20-year-old man-child thing that I have to record the sound of me drinking tea, or people on the internet become very angry and upset with me. I believe I've achieved a lot of things based on this. But otherwise, let's start the show. So one thing I do need to note before we really begin is the fact that I have drawn 4 questions off Twitter. If you're not following my Twitter, you should be, because things like this happen, you know. Some other things I'll talk about later. You should be following my Twitter anyway, you scrub, if you're not. I had to get a few questions off Twitter because I had a large portion of questions that were kind of like those really dull questions that made me stop doing tea and questions in the first place. Let me give you an example. Would you rather be a walrus or a penguin? Now, that style of question is a would you rather this thing or this thing and why? And the answer is useless and dumb. The answer to that question is obviously penguin because they're way more cute, naturally. But yes, that is a useless question and a useless answer, and it benefits no one. And the point of Teen Questions is to interact with you and answer interesting, cool questions. And questions like that just aren't any of those things. So let's not ask those questions. All right, cool. First question comes from Phoenix Gaming Videos. Will you ever do YouTube advice videos again? Because they were really helpful. Yes, I intend to do them, but as I said in those videos, the reason there hasn't been one for ages is because I will only do them on things I honestly believe I know a fucking ton about. Like, I know most of the angles of that scenario that I'm advising on. I do not want to give bad advice. I do not want someone to listen to something I say and then make a choice that ultimately is bad for them. I don't want to do that. So I'm very careful with what advice I give out there. I'm a 21-year-old guy. I have a lot of life to live. I'm not as wise as some people seem to think I am. And I just want to help people, but I don't want to be a detriment to them. So I'm very careful with what I select to do those on. So there'll be a thing, but they're very rare, okay? So I hope that answers your question. Next one comes from VIP Prince Gaming, or VIP, I guess, if that's, you know, whether you want to be called that or not. And they have a couple questions. What program are you using to record your audio? I use Fraps to record the game and audio of my computer. And to record myself, I use Audacity. So I'll give you an example. I am playing Minecraft, okay? Minecraft, okay? And it's there. And there's Rage talking to me, and he's making a joke about some bullshit that's retarded. And I want you to be able to hear him and Minecraft's sounds. So I record with Fraps. So you are now hearing Rage and Minecraft. But you're not hearing me because I'm recording me on a separate audio level by recording Fraps and Audacity at the same time. Audacity is the thing that's recording my microphone. And then basically I will time those up together by, like, I'll press the menu and then tap the mic like this. So I'll press escape, and then the moment I press escape, I'll tap the mic at the same time like this. And then it comes up on the audio, and then I can put them together and line them up that way. And then basically this means if there's something wrong with my audio or Rage's audio or the game's audio, I can then, because they're on different tracks, sort of edit them, and if anything goes wrong, it saves me a lot of problems. And this has happened many times, and it has saved me many times. So there you go. Also, you get better quality with Audacity than Fraps, I guess. So there you go. Okay, so the next question comes from him, that is, what is your favourite program from editing programs, which I'm using right now? Well, actually, I've only used 2 editing programs in my life. One is the Windows Movie Maker, which is free with Windows. Absolute garbage, very limited, but it is free, and it is the thing that I made most of my PZ93 videos on, my first YouTube channel. Most of those videos were on there. And eventually I got the very expensive program Sony Vegas, and that is what I edit with, and I have been editing with for years. I'm self-taught on both programs, and that's why I feel like I'm an amateur, because I'm self-taught, I don't know every in and out, and I'm slowly learning more things as I go, and kind of challenging myself with it. So there you go, that's what I used to edit and record with. Also, he asked about Dark Souls 2 and when I'm going to stream. Well, I've already been streaming Dark Souls 2 on Twitch regularly. You'll know that if you are online at the right time and see that I've uploaded a video to YouTube saying I'm streaming. Or you follow my Twitter, as mentioned earlier, and I always tweet when I'm streaming. So if you're following me on Twitter, you'll see at some point me saying, "Oh, guys, I'm streaming Dark Souls 2 right now. Here's a link. Come join me." And then you can click that and come join me. So my Twitter will be in the description. You can follow it if you want. It's very useful. All right, that's all of his questions, really. So next question comes from, oh, God, Generationhollow. Good name, man. Do you ever plan on going back and doing more Cube World content? Well, I actually made a video yesterday, which I'm sure you'll know now, because obviously you answered this before that video went up, talking about Cube World, why there's been no Cube World, and a bunch of updates that are hopefully coming soon that have finally been talked about by Wolfram on his official Twitter, and I made like a video all about that, and that's very useful information if you want to know about Cube World, so I recommend you go watch that video. It was uploaded yesterday. I'm sure you'll find it. It's like Cube World update thing. Yeah, okay. Next question comes from the Twitter questions that I had to ask. Johnny Padilla, what's your favourite thing about reading? I hope I pronounced your name right. I probably didn't. I'm sorry. Well, the fact that there's infinite possibilities within a book. You look at things like a film and the book and the film adaptation, of a book. Ultimately, you're going to have a lot cut out. So look at Game of Thrones and the Song of Ice and Fire series, which is the books that Game of Thrones is based on. They have cut out a ginormous amount of things, and they've had to change the story ever so slightly in certain bits, like certain characters just weren't there, or certain characters, are still alive, for example, but they're just irrelevant characters anyway. But, things that change, and physical adaptations of things like... no spoilers, Joffrey's wedding happened in a different place, although, still King's Landing, but a different setting with a lot more things going on, and a lot of things happened that weren't happening in the TV show because they just don't have the time or the money to create something like that, Where with reading, you have infinite possibilities. There's no budget. You write something down. You write there's a flying dragon that's pink that does backflips. Fucking flying dragon that does pink does backflips. Infinite possibilities. And the human imagination is an amazing thing. And reading is a way to explore that and delve into these amazing worlds that would never exist otherwise. And hell, anime is a way to show that without these high-budget films, It's just a animation of something that's been wrote down, and that's really cool as well. And that's just my favourite thing about reading. It's just an amazing thing of infinite possibilities. And, it increases your intelligence by reading. So read. Okay, next one comes from Lynn or Plastic Smoothie. What kind of video do you most enjoy making and why? I would say the ones that I actually edit quite a lot. Take my Attack on Titan Colossal guide video. That was awesome. One of my favorite videos. Very proud of that video. Has like 20k views. Pretty happy about that. Did really well, and I put a lot of time and love into that video. And take my very popular Dark Souls 2 series, the playthrough, I edit the shit out of them. I recorded them for hours, I edited them down into interesting stuff, and then I edited the edited footage so there was like little text or zoom-ins or music or that kind of thing, And I put my life and soul into these videos, and when people really just say that they love them and all this effort that I put into a video, it makes my day, and it's so good to see that. And when a playthrough has like the same views as my other videos, usually playthroughs get way less views, I'm doing something right. And a perfect example of the videos I'm most proud of and most enjoy that I do will be my Dark Souls 2 Lore series that comes out very soon, in maybe a week or so. I'm not sure where I'm going to start with them, but I was waiting for PC release, so obviously I've only just sort of been able to start with that. So it'll be a while before the first one, maybe a week and a half or something. And I'm going to put my life and soul into those videos, and I bet you're going to be able to tell because the quality of those videos will be high. And I really hope people enjoy them, and that's going to be, that type of video where I knuckle down, go in and record specific things, edit it, put time in, and make something I'm proud of. Those are my favourite videos to make, so there you go. Next one comes from John Smith. Do you have any phobias? I was going to say no, but then I was like, wait, no, I have this really annoying thing with sort of cutlery and things that you eat and drink out of. If there's a speck of dirt on it, I cannot drink or eat from it. I have to clean it. It has to be spotless. I cannot eat off of something that I think is dirty. And even if it isn't dirty and it's just like a little like stain or something, that stain needs to be gone. And it's a very annoying problem that I have, and it makes it very problematic for me when I travel. I do get over it. Like, I'm not like look, if there's a moment where I'm like, I need to eat and something doesn't reach my ridiculous standards, but, other people are obviously able to eat out of that, then it's not going to fucking kill me. So, if I'm like traveling or something, I just eat it and deal with it. But that is an issue I have. It's just I don't know if it's a phobia, but there you go. That's the only thing I could think of, and it's retarded. So there you go. Next one, final one, comes from some person called Jillian, and it says, question for teen questions, why am I so cool? No. Alright, that's all the questions for this episode. If you would like to ask a question that is remotely interesting, then go ahead and, ask something that's thought-provoking, like the one about reading, for example. Take that as your kind of goal and aspiration and inspiration, and other words ending in peration. And comment it down below on this video, because that's where I go check. Please, if you can ask me a question where I'm just like, what's your favourite colour? Blue. And then that's the end of the question. I will not pick it. I will not pick it. And I do pick questions solely, unless there's just not enough, from the comments in the video of the most recent teen questions. So that would be this video. So comment your question there, and then I might use it. Alright guys, have a great day. I hope I helped you out with any of these answers and stuff. And I'm going to finish the rest of this tea and chill the F out. Have a good day. Goodbye.